Hey guys, welcome to another DaVinci Resolve editing tutorial, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create a very simple countdown timer inside of the Edit tab and the Fusion tab. I find this effect extremely handy for when I'm creating livestream pre-rolls for clients to prepare their audiences for their live content. And also if you want a visual timer on your video for a video challenge within a certain time frame, this technique is extremely good for that. So before I begin, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay notified for my next uploads. And also if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like. Okay, so let's get into it. So I'm just going to start off in the Edit tab first. So I'm just going to go over to the effects library, and I'm going to go over to titles, and I'm going to add a text plus. Okay, so by default you're going to have the title as title. What we're going to do is we're just going to go and right click in the styled text, and we're going to click timecode, and that will create a simple counter, but there's a lot of extra stuff that we don't want. First, I'm just going to stretch this out to the length that I want it at, so I'm just going to make this about a minute, and as you can see it doesn't go all the way up to 1 minute, so I'm just going to go over an extra seconds. Let's just go to the end here and let's just adjust our timer. So we don't want the hours and some of the minutes and the frames, so we're going to get rid of that, and the easiest way to do that is go down to right on and just drag it over to about there, and then let's drag the ends to get rid of the frames per second, and there we go. So now we've got a very simple timer that's counting up. And before we lock this in, we want to make sure that our font is where we want it to be, and our color, our sizing, just because once we do some other stuff we won't be able to adjust it anymore. So we want to make sure the color is correct. If we want it to be more of a red color, do we want to change the font to something else? So let's just change the font over to something more of a countdown timer. Okay, so once we're happy with the look, let's just right click on the clip and let's turn this to a new compound clip, and we're just going to call this countdown. Okay, so now we've created a new compound clip, so everything's locked in and it's counting up. So let's say we want it to count down. We can do that by simply right clicking, and we'll change clip speed, and we'll just hit the reverse speed, and that will start the countdown. Cool, and that's how you can create a very simple countdown. This is great for live streaming content or anything you need for a countdown timer. So let me just show you. If we let's just make another one. Let's make another one. So I'm just going to make it the same length as this previous one. Let's right click and let's create a time code, and we'll do the same thing, but we're just going to leave it counting up. So let's go to our stock footage here, and let's just drag it into the timeline, and let's actually make this the same length as the clip. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the inspector tab. Okay, so let's just go to the start of the clip, and let's do the same thing as before. Let's adjust our right on, and then just put it there. So we've got a 50-second timer. So let's just say that this is our video challenge clip, and having a single shot of a challenge can get pretty boring. So let's say you want to add a speed ramp. So let's just say we'll start our speed ramp off here. So let's go to retime controls. Let's just zoom in, quickly add some speed points. Alright, so let's change our speed to something that's pretty crazy. Let's go 800. And as you can see, it hasn't done anything to our countdown timer. Before I turn it into a compound clip, I'm just going to adjust the font and font color before we lock it in. So as you can see, the text is still going at the same pace, but we want it to match the clip down here. It's very similar to what we did before with the countdown. Let's just right click and create a new compound clip, and let's just call this, let's just call it countdown 2. Okay, let's create. So we've got our new compound clip here, and let's just copy these, the speed ramp. So Control C and then Alt V for pasting attributes. And we're just going to check retime effects. So as you can see here, the countdown or the timer is going extremely fast. That's matching the speed of the footage. And then now when we're out of the speed change, it's going to play back normally. So yeah, that's how you do the countdown timer inside of the edit tab. It's fairly simple to do, but let's go over to the Fusion tab. Now, the reason why I'm showing you how to do this inside of the Fusion tab is because with the countdown timer inside of the Fusion, it will allow you to customize your text a bit more, and it will allow you to incorporate this timer into some more advanced motion graphics. So to do that, let's just go over to our effects in the effects library, and let's create a new Fusion composition, and let's create a 30-second timer this time. Let's just adjust our clip, and as you can see at the bottom, 28, 29, that's our total length of the clip. I'm just going to make it a bit longer than 30 seconds just so we can see it on 30. Okay, so it's at 31 seconds, and now let's select the clip and let's simply go into the Fusion tab. Cool. I'm just going to drag this over to the side, and I am going to create a new background, and I'm going to create a text node. I'm just going to put the merge into the media out just so we can see it, and then I'm going to put the text in our first window by hitting 1 on the keyboard. This technique is pretty similar to the one inside of the edit tab. You just right click and we'll go text timer, and by default it'll start on 1. If you hit play, you'll notice that it doesn't actually do any counting. You actually have to animate it. So let's just stop it here. We can scroll down. If we adjust our right on, you can see that it doesn't make our text centered. But if you want to make it centered, we'll go over to our modifiers tab, and we're just going to uncheck hours because we don't need it. We don't really need minutes for this one, so we can also get rid of minutes. So now we just have seconds, and since we've got seconds, it's automatically just going to stay on 60, and it's going to keep counting up. So if I bump the minutes up, you can see that it's going to be counting the minutes like that. So we don't want that. We want to make sure our minutes are 0, hours are 0, and we're just adjusting the seconds. So there's a few ways you can do this. If you want the counter to be counting down, we'll be starting on 30 seconds. We make sure our starter is on 0 frames, and then we start the keyframe, and then we'll drag it all the way over towards the end, not exactly at the end because we've put on an extra second, so about 31 seconds. So my timeline is in 25 frames, so I'm going to bring this back down to about 750, and I'm just going to drag this all the way to 0. So now you can see that there is a countdown timer from 30 seconds going all the way down to 0. And then if you just want it to be a normal counter, you can start it on 0 frames, go up to about 750, and then we'll drag this up to 30 seconds. And then now we've got a timer. So yeah, that's how you create the countdown timer inside of the Fusion tab. Now, creating the countdown timer inside of the Fusion tab allows you to add more customization to the text and allows you to use it in advanced motion graphics. And then doing it inside of the edit tab just allows you to create something quick and easy, just as an overlay for some video or just pre-roll for live streams. So yeah, I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay notified for my next videos. And also, if you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.